Hi, welcome to Girl, Are You Okay?
This is a podcast about two 20-something-year-olds living in Los Angeles talking about anything and everything.
I'm Ayesha,
I'm Abeera.
and this is our podcast.
Yeah, welcome.
Well, something that's been on my mind recently is the upcoming Met Gala.
Yay! It's that time of year. I
First
can't
Monday.
believe it.
I know.
I think it was just yesterday that we were talking about daylight savings not being a thing or being a thing. I don't even know which one's which. But now we're already in like full on spring mode.
Exactly. And with spring comes good fashion.
Yes. or just fashion, period.
Fashion. All right. So the theme this year is Sleeping Beauty's reawakening fashion, I believe.
Yes. I think you have a lot more information about this. So I almost want you to give that description and then we talk.
Yeah, let's
And
do
then we
it.
yap.
I know when I first heard about the theme, I think we all must have been like, oh, Sleeping Beauty, like the Disney princess. But actually, when they say Sleeping Beauties, they're actually referring to old archival pieces that are too delicate to be worn again or even be taken outside again.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of breathing new life into old styles, old fashion pieces, archival things.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to
It's giving
see.
vintage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's also an element of bringing in nature, specifically with like land, sea, and air. Land,
Like
air,
the elements essentially.
yeah. I might be getting that wrong, but something to that effect.
Okay.
And yeah, I thought we could talk about like what do we expect to see on the carpet?
I will just put a PSA out there that I am not someone who follows fashion and brands and designers the way that maybe others do. So I have a very limited knowledge.
I'm in the same boat where I can't like refer to like the Dior 2004 collection called this blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Or, you know.
Yeah. That's a lot of like props, honestly. Like that's like history.
No, it truly is. It's like, I just wish I like had the ability to even store that kind of information
I was
in my
just
brain.
thinking, I was like, I don't have the brain storage for that.
So
yeah. No, as soon as you kind of like brought up the description, I think I kind of gravitate towards the like the element part of it where like the nature and things like that, because I think there could be really cool things that come out of that where it's like leaning into maybe even like some like animal interpretations.
I think there could be something crazy with the way people choose to, like, I wonder if modern day technology, if you can almost print, like 3D print elements of like an animal's skeleton and add that to a dress. Or I wonder if there's like more that we can just do now when it comes to like putting together an outfit, because before it was just like thread and fabric. Now I think we've expanded that and putting on an animal, very animalistic effect.
I think about my God, what's her name? Heidi Klum's Halloween party.
Worm.
Yeah, like the worm. And then I think she was a peacock this past year or something.
And then Shrek and Fiona.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm just saying, like, I feel like that is very much like taking on that, what you're talking about, essentially, like that ability to do something like that. But also the other part, which is like the archival stuff, it kind of reminds me of somebody from last year.
Miss Kim Kardashian. Yeah. I was almost going to say
that was last year, right? Or 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Wait.
Right?
No, because last year was Karl Lagerfeld from Chanel.
Okay, so 2 years ago.
But
wait.
Did she wear that?
Where are we? What year is this? When was she with Pete Davidson? 2 years ago.
What did she wear last year?
Okay, well, we can hold off on that for a second because we need to talk about this incident with Marilyn Monroe's dress.
Right. So it was the dress that Marilyn Monroe wore to sing to Happy Birthday to John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
And Kim Kardashian insisted that she wear the actual gown that, girly, you didn't fit into.
And that's not us like jabbing anything.
No. And like my biggest thing, I love her. Like disclaimer.
Yeah.
I love her. She's my problematic fave. Kim Kardashian, please don't get it twisted. But
if you're listening,
I'm just saying you have the means to recreate absolutely anything. Nobody would have known if you recreated it and said it was her dress.
I think even just recreating it as like a nod to it and like almost like an honor of it, it's almost maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like they recreated it. And you also keep it safe and sound. I don't know.
Right. I mean, the only thing you had to ruin that day was your hair. Because she was bleaching it the like day of.
Yes. Were you cringing knowing the process like so well? Like
I just was scared for her.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know her hair health in terms of like if she had prior dye on it. You know, it just makes it more complicated.
Right.
And again, could she wear a wig?
Oh, wasn't it slick back though?
No. I mean, I'm just saying, could she have worn a wig?
Oh,
you know, because they do it all the time.
Deep questions that I have no answers to.
I see this as being like she took the hard way.
Yeah, but they are known to do things like that. Like they'll do anything for the look.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Which I respect that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. What are you most excited about for this Met? Like, are you looking forward to seeing anybody? Are you looking forward to someone's interpretation of the theme?
So I always get excited to see all the Kardashians and see what they're going to do. I really want to see if Timothée Chalamet is going to be Kylie's date this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wonder.
Because I feel like sometimes men at the Met Gala don't really give it their all. I'm starting to see more of that, which is making me happy.
Like more that they are putting in their all.
Yeah, putting in more effort outside of just wearing a suit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like Timothy would actually like commit to the theme.
Yeah, because I think we talked about this when we were discussing like Wonka. Like he isn't scared to like put himself out there in ways that could be, I don't know, like memes and things like that. No, that's so true. And then also you reminded me of one of my favorite parts of the past 2 years, which is Emma Chamberlain doing interviews.
Oh my God. Yes.
I don't know, like especially the first year that she did it, it was just like so. Emma Chamberlain is a national treasure to me, and I hope it stays that way. But
she's just so like, I wish I could take a peek into her brain sometimes and just see the way she thinks.
Well, she has a podcast.
Okay.
So I wonder if that can get you inside of her brain a little bit more.
Absolutely. And I think there was the moment when she was interviewing Doja Cat.
Oh, the meow.
The meowing. So Doja Cat was dressed as a cat last year in reference to Karl Lagerfeld's cat. Am I saying his name right? I think
so. Yeah,
okay.
It sounds right.
And so Emma Chamberlain was interviewing her, and this girl was just meowing back to every question. Personally, I would have been like, purr.
Yeah.
But like,
I think Emma was a little confused.
I would have loved to peek into her brain in that moment.
She was probably freaking out.
I mean, and I don't blame her.
Because like, I'm sure she was put into this position being like, you better get some good interviews out of this. And she was probably like, what am I supposed to do with this?
And that was memorable.
It was.
Right. So.
Yeah. Well, and then I'm going to fast forward. No, go back 2 years when she interviewed Jack Harlow.
Yes. Love you.
That was so like, why did I start blushing?
No, she's amazing. I hope she's there this year. I'm guessing she's gonna be.
I think she's probably getting enough love from fans and just the general public to be brought back every year.
Yeah.
We'll see. We will see.
And then the Victor and Roth 2005 piece. I only know this because I've been looking into the Met Gala. That is the having people dressed literally as a bed.
Oh, so taking it very literally.
I think, and the thing is with that, only one person really can do that for it to be an impact. Or maybe there can be like maybe 3 max of different variety.
Right, because then it just gets like overdone. Okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And then if somebody wants to dress up as like, I think we already said, but can take Sleeping Beauty, but like go all out and be the person who decided to do that.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Who would Blake Lively. Full on princess.
She has to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Serena Vanderwoodson.
Back on the Met. Back on the Met steps.
And then who is hosting?
Oh, yes. Okay. Name them out if you remember.
It's Bad Bunny. Zendaya.
Ugh. Wait, really?
Yeah.
Finally.
I know.
The queen of the Met.
Literally. J-Lo.
That aged really badly.
And Anna Wintour. I believe if there's anyone else, I'm not sure, but I think Chris Hemsworth.
At least it's not the other Hemsworth brother.
So I personally, when I saw this list, I'm like, what a random assortment of people.
I feel like they typically are random, if I'm not mistaken, because actually, I'm not even going to say because I don't know why. But yes, very interesting.
Yeah. I just like
imagine them in a room together.
I was literally thinking, like, imagine you drop them at a like an island, deserted island. Like, how would they fare? See,
that should be another reality TV show.
It would be so funny. Chris Hemsworth is fully the muscle.
Oh yeah, he would have. He would not let anything get to them.
Absolutely,
any threat on the island is gone.
And then I'm trying to figure out if it would be Anna Wintour or J-Lo, who's like barking orders at everybody.
Oh, both.
And then they would be fully be in a fight.
Oh yeah, they would definitely have some tension.
Okay.
And then where would Bad Bunny be in this? Maybe just like lounging on the beach.
Yeah, he's just like sad boy hours, just like wading through the water.
Yeah. Maybe like just chilling, but also maybe
he's gonna help if Chris Hemsworth asks him to.
Who
but
else?
like,
Zendaya.
And Zendaya's
she'll save the day.
She's saving the day.
Yeah. She already has a full on like boat that can get them
literally
out of this island.
She's foraging. She knows which mushrooms are poisonous. Like, yeah, we need her.
Yeah. Thank God they have her.
I know.
But yeah, anything else about the Met that you're feeling passionate about sharing or telling us?
I'm just like, I've never actually done like a Met party before where I've never gone to one. I know sometimes people get together and they like watch it together, and
I don't have cable, so
I know, neither do I. So the most I do it was like go on Twitter and just watch like as they would like flood in.
That's how I do it too. I just keep refreshing.
I know. It's so fun just to see.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I hope
what
you're
is it even streamed on? Do you know?
No idea.
Okay. And maybe they get coverage on like several.
Yeah, probably. So yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens, and maybe we'll post our favorite looks on our Insta.
Yes. And let us know if you want us to like follow up once we do see what everyone wore and hear our thoughts on that.
Yeah. Oh, we could stream it on Vogue.com.
There you go.
For free?
Cool.
I wonder if you need a subscription.
Maybe.
TBD. Okay. Well, switching gears. We are here to talk to you about a very interesting topic. I don't know why I made that sound so mystical.
Like,
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Intriguing. Guys, we're talking about fear and anxiety.
Fear and anxiety.
I just got anxiety from that moment.
Yeah, you were giving me anxiety watching you trying to figure out what to say. I'm just like, what is happening?
Fair.
What are you afraid of?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Should I just like list?
Yes.
Okay. My biggest fear is being kidnapped.
I think, okay, keep going.
Like, I just feel like that is so rational in my mind. Like, this can happen. And it's also my hypervigilance. Like, I feel like everyone's out to get me.
Mm-hmm.
And like even just like walking from my apartment to my car, like in that garage, I'm like dagger eyes, like just like looking around.
Yeah, because like as a kid, it gets so ingrained in you, like stranger danger, like there are people
Also,
in this
our world is so scary.
Yes. And then as an adult, kidnapping still happens because it just turns into human trafficking.
Oh my God. Yes. I think kidnapping plus human trafficking is like number one fear.
And you guys,
That
it is
combo.
happening. This whole thing
At the Target parking lots, you guys.
if they put zip ties on your car door handles, run.
Go get somebody from Target and say, walk me to my car.
It's like I see so many TikToks
I
about this.
love this saying from My Favorite Murder. Shout out F politeness.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you get in your car, sometimes I know the girlies are scared to lock their car doors because they don't want to be rude if there's like someone like outside.
Oh my God.
But it's like, who cares if they listen to you lock your car doors? You're being safe.
I always will lock my car doors immediately. Sometimes it won't be locked and someone's like gonna walk by and then I'm like fully locking it. Because what are they gonna do now that it's locked?
No, it's just like this irrational thing in your mind where you have anxiety that you're gonna hurt someone's feelings or whatever, but you shouldn't care about that.
No. Do you look in your back seat when you get in the car?
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
I'm always like, and then I put my flashlight on and I'm like making sure no one's laying on the ground on the back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard being a girl. Oh.
Yeah, and I think okay, wait, I'll stop talking about my fear for a second. Let's bounce off. What's one of yours?
Okay. Controversial. I'm afraid of dogs.
Oh, okay, wait, we can talk about this for a second.
Okay.
I was fully like not deathly, but like really scared of dogs growing up.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to be like, oh my God, you're crazy.
Okay, thank you. I mean, at this point, I've had enough exposure to dogs that like when I see one, I'm not like backing into a corner.
Guys, my dog, my family dog is probably not scariest, but she's not fun. And Ayesha is a champ around her.
Yeah, see, I do well. We love Shoba. Shoba's Abeera's dog.
Yes.
And there's something like endearing about her.
Well, she looks like a grandpa.
Yes.
But she also is.
And she's a Gemini.
She's a Gemini. I was just going to say. So I see one side of her. Everyone else sees that other side of her. But guys, she has anxiety.
And it all makes so much more
Fear
sense.
and anxiety. It's our topic today. Shoba should come on the pod and talk about her fear and anxiety.
And
woof, woof, woof.
and doesn't she like prefer other people over other dogs, or is it reversed?
No, other way. Yeah.
Okay,
so she likes
so she
dogs
has social anxiety
with humans. And so do I.
Yeah. We relate, girl.
Talk about your dog phobia.
Okay. So I think it started because my mom ingrained in us her fear of dogs.
Same. My mom was scared of dogs.
Yeah. So whenever there was one around, she's like holding on to us tighter, or like the hypervigilance she would like kind of show.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's all learned.
Yeah.
Or a lot of it is learned, you know? And it just internalized.
Yeah.
And then there was a time where me and my dad and my younger sister were walking around our neighborhood, and there was a dog walking without a leash. And just, I'm telling you, the sight of a dog would freak me out. So I see this dog. My dad goes, "Don't run." I proceed to run for my life because that's what you do. There is a threat nearby. And it chased after me. He's picking up my sister and putting her on his shoulders. Meanwhile, this dog fully jumps me onto the ground.
How big was it?
It was like not that big, but I'm like probably like 6 years old?
Yeah.
You know, so it's fully like my back is on the ground. This dog's on top of me.
That's traumatic. If you're already scared of dogs and that happens to you, like it's confirmation.
Yeah. So that was not a fun time.
And it was probably not even there to hurt you. It was probably like you were playing a game or something, or like it wanted to come and like lick you, but like you don't know that.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like it when anything licks me either.
Is that a phobia?
Yeah.
Or a
fear of being licked.
I think maybe a few people have that. I don't think many people want to be. Just
I'm like,
yeah.
Anyways, do you have another one?
I am Yeah, I feel like all of mine are like kind of deep. I have a fear of like cancer.
Oh, Abeera's like coming up with like these hard hitting ones.
But specifically that I or someone I love will be diagnosed with cancer.
yeah.
Because to me, that's just like, and I know that you can cure some forms of cancer, but it's like, to me, that's it.
It's just this like, it just starts this journey of so much unknown.
Yeah.
Right. Where death is a possible outcome.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of death.
I am scared of dying too soon.
Well, I'm scared of the concept of losing people.
Me too.
So, which goes, I think,
Yes.
hand in hand with yours.
Yes.
And with cancer specifically, I feel like there's so much out of your hands
Yeah.
in that way.
Yeah. And you have to trust like medical personnel, like, which, not to say I don't trust them, but like you're putting your whole life.
And you can have like all the financial resources in the world, or you can have none, and you might still, the outcome again might still be the same.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's just this.
But not having access, probably you don't get to be part of like those clinical trials or like things like that. So you actually don't maybe get all the, well, yeah. Anyway. So very much connected to, I think, what you just said, which is like just the fear of loss.
Right.
But also I don't love medical procedures in general. Like I have so much anxiety going to doctor's offices. Even if I know, like I just got an eye exam. Tell me why I was like fully about to go number 2 in my pants going into it.
No, and then they make you wait in the waiting room forever.
Yes.
You're thinking about everything. And then when they call your name, maybe say it wrong. You're just like, oh God, like, yep, here we go.
Great start.
You know, it's not a fun experience. And then it's like, are you going to feel heard by your doctor?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's
You
so much
know?
medical gaslighting that happens.
Right.
I see it so much with like clients too.
No, like they're not listening to them.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's just like healthcare in the United States just sucks, unfortunately.
So I think my phobia goes, I keep saying phobia, but I'm just gonna say fear because I don't necessarily know if they're phobias, quote unquote. But my fear definitely does extend into all of these realms, but cancer specifically like just stings a little bit more in my heart.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
I'm so afraid of cacti.
Yeah.
Like irrationally so.
Do you have an experience with?
No.
Okay. So so there's some succulents that have little pokey guys, right?
Yeah.
Do you own any succulents that have that?
No.
Fair. Okay.
I will like when I'm walking and then there's like a little cactus in the shrubbery, I like literally like it gives me goosebumps
Because you're scared of getting pricked? Okay. Don't look up jumping cacti
Okay.
because they're like a thing. I think they're in the deserts, obviously, maybe in the desert. But I think they, for lack of a better word, jump at you. Not at you, but like they just are mobile.
How?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay. I will be looking this up because I mean, I can admire them from afar. I think they're like beautiful.
Yeah.
I was very brave recently because there was a big cactus I saw.
Yeah.
I took a picture with it, but I was so scared. I was so scared.
How far away were you from it?
Not that far.
Okay.
I literally I walked up right behind it.
Good.
So, and then my partner and I like have done a cross country road trip before. And so when we were driving through Arizona, they had the like full on classic like cactus emoji type ones. Yeah. And he was all like trying to he was pretending to touch it or lean into it.
Oh my God. Was that driving you crazy?
Cause it literally I can't deal with that. And then he trips and slips and falls into it. I cannot tell you how angry that made me because that is the fear.
Did you get pricked at the coworker or co-producer? I guess we are coworkers. How was that experience? Bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
It was worse for me.
Yeah. That you kind of got your, I mean, it didn't directly affect you.
No, but it's like the act of it. Like, so even seeing something happen to somebody else, it's like
it confirmed again. Yeah. Wow.
Anyways,
I feel like it's not irrational, but it's you have to be in the right environment for it to become rational.
I think so, yeah.
I don't know if that was validating to hear.
And I think everyone may have heard my fear of sharks. So
Yes,
we talked about that.
We did talk about that briefly. If you don't know what we're talking about, listen to episode 8.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think of another one. I think another one for me is like ghosts, but like specifically waking up in the middle of the night and being in the presence of one not on top of me, but like like above me somehow.
Yeah.
Like just like I wake up and it's like at the foot of my bed. Because I've heard stories.
And I think not all ghosts are friendly. And that is,
I don't even care about that. I don't want to be caught off guard.
of like, hi.
And what do you do in that situation, you guys? You just go back to sleep? No.
like, you have to, do you talk to it?
Well, then do you wake up somebody, but what if they come at you? You know what I mean? Like, what are they capable of?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Oh, and you don't want to get haunted by it.
Oh my gosh. Possessions, do you believe?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The reason why like those movies with like the religious undertones,
Mhm.
right? Like what is it? The Conjuring
Mm-hmm.
or the ones where people are possessed. Those scare me
Yeah.
the most because
Like The Exorcist and stuff?
Yes, The Exorcist.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. I really believe that they can happen.
Yeah.
And so
My dad like knows somebody who had to go through like an exorcism essentially.
bring them on the podcast. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God. Like, does holy water
Like-
actually burn
Like
in those
their
moments?
voice like completely changed and stuff. I know.
Dear Heavenly Father. Just kidding.
But yeah, no, I think again, it extends into those realms, but for simplicity sake, guys, I can't talk today. Just full disclosure, we are recording earlier than we usually do.
Yeah.
And I think my brain is still waking up a little bit. Anyway, ghosts. Yes.
Ghosts. So, how would we want to approach just the anxiety? Like, okay, let's say in the moment,
Yeah.
you wake up,
Yeah.
or maybe you're just chilling,
Yeah.
a ghost emerges. And maybe the ghost is metaphorical, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a literal ghost,
Mhm.
but you're feeling anxiety. So anxiety comes
Yeah.
and says,
Well, anxiety is a big bad monster.
yes, yes, exactly.
Mhm.
And so it's like in the face of this anxiety, this ghost, this monster, how do we regulate and make sure we stay okay?
Well, I have some good and healthy coping skills,
Mm-hmm.
but I also have some not so good and healthy coping skills.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure everyone hopefully can validate that to some degree.
Yep.
Do we want to talk about both a little bit?
I think we should just
Okay.
to normalize this kind of experience. Because if you don't have anxiety, who are you? How do you do it? Where do you live? Tell me
There
everything
are
about your
people
life.
out there that don't have anxiety. And can we have a lobotomy and switch brains?
I literally think about lobotomies all the time. Like, send me to the sea. Like, there needs to be a lighthouse in sight. Like the saltwater air.
I want to get the t-shirt that says got my lobotomy at Claire's.
Got my lobotomy at Toyotathon.
No, not Toyotathon. Okay, I think let's go into maybe the maladaptive or unhealthy ones first, and
Yeah.
then we can maybe redeem ourselves with our healthier ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I think my most maladaptive one, which maybe is not horrible, is just my spiral of overthinking.
Mm-hmm. That is so real. I think the rumination.
Yes. Yes.
You can like worry yourself into oblivion
Uh-huh.
that it just makes it so much harder to kind of crawl out of that space.
Yeah. Like it's if overthinking and mindfulness were at two sides of the spectrum, I am fully on like that opposite side
Yeah.
of mindfulness where it's like just complete and utter like in my thoughts, can't get out of it. Yeah. Just to put it as a visual.
Yes. And I think this is such a common like racing thoughts before you go to bed or when you wake up, like feeling that dread.
Yeah.
And there's maybe this idea of like, I can think my way out of this problem or this feeling. And it doesn't actually work like that.
I always like, and it's so funny because I always tell clients, I never practice what I preach, by the way.
Oh,
Like it's
no.
horrible. And I always tell clients like, oh, anxiety is good until it's not anymore because it is trying to help you, right?
Yes.
It's trying to protect you. It's trying to whatever. So let it help you. But once you've figured out all you can do, like whatever's in your control and preparing yourself for worst case scenario, why are we still letting it take over?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously easier said than done, but I have a hard time practicing what I preach in that regard, where it's like, okay, I fully prepped for this worst case scenario, whatever. I'm still thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. And I know I really do my best to like, when it comes, I try to push it away. I shove it out. I ignore it. I avoid it.
And talk about that.
Like the vicious,
avoidance,
the vicious cycle of avoidance, because anxiety comes knocking. I'm like, not today. I walk into the other room. It comes knocking. And it is this thing of the more you avoid something, the more it just perpetuates the cycle to continue because we're not actually dealing with it.
Yeah. Would you group the avoidance with procrastination, or do you see them as like different?
I see them as different flavors. They're in the same family. I think procrastination is my fear of the discomfort or the feeling that doing that task brings me.
Okay.
You know, so let's say it's like, oh, I have to write this paper for school. I hate the feeling that I have while writing papers. Maybe it's, I don't know how to do this. I'm dumb. This is so tortuous. I just hate my life when I'm doing this. I want to avoid that feeling. So I'm going to put that off and procrastinate.
And then my anxiety works the opposite way, where I have to get it done. Otherwise I can't chill. But then that leads me to have no chill. So I don't know. I'm just like two sides of anxiety, and maybe our listeners can relate to one of these two situations.
I think Abeera has always, like, when I heard you, like, I think recently you're like, yeah, I just spent time just doing nothing and I just chilled.
Yeah, that's
and I didn't
rare.
have a plan. I was like, girl, are you okay? Like, how did this happen?
Yeah. No, someone told me this and I really liked it. She's like, yeah, I'm chill. Or no, I can go with the flow as long as I know when the flow is happening or where it's happening or something like that. Where I was like, yep. I need to have some plan, some structure.
And, you know, as much as anxiety, we can understand why it's there and like how it's trying to help.
Yes.
Anxiety can also be really mean.
Oh.
The things it tells you about yourself, the things it says will happen. You know, I think that's one of the worst parts about it. Of you are this kind of person, you are going to hurt people in these ways.
Yeah.
And
it starts like dipping into like your core beliefs.
Yes,
about
like
yourself.
Like others believe that you are
blank. Yeah.
And it's like debilitating sometimes, you know?
Do you have any other like maladaptive coping skills that you want to throw into the mix?
Yeah, I mean, constant reassurance.
That's a good one. I mean, not a good one, but like a valid, like
I
real
think
one. Yeah.
Reassurance is a complicated one because I think everyone can and deserves to be reassured. You know, I think, again, it's one of those things that to what extent is it considered healthy and adaptive? And at what point are you becoming overly dependent on needing this from somebody?
Yeah.
So,
and like, it's kind of like validation, like external validation versus like being able to validate yourself.
Because it makes me become reliant on the person.
Right.
Who is reassuring me or validating me versus being able to get that from myself.
Anxious attachment.
There you go.
Some may say.
Yes. You know, so I know I'm so sorry to my partner who I have to talk through every situation in extreme detail.
Yeah, I do that a lot too.
And then I like talk about every point of entry where something could go wrong, right? And deep dive into each one of them. And I need to talk about the same thing a million times. And even then I don't feel okay about it.
Yeah. It doesn't do anything.
So
why do we do it?
I don't know.
Okay, so let's maybe dip our toes now into some maybe healthier coping skills that we have tried to
Keyword tried.
implement. As of my most recent therapy session, I've been trying to instill more mindfulness, which, okay, I don't know about you guys, but when I hear the word mindfulness, I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, enough with this mindfulness talk. But it's true, it works. And that's why it's thrown out everywhere in every conversation. So I've been doing that mostly when I'm like driving.
How do you because mindfulness can look like so many
Yes,
things.
Good point. I have been practicing it more so in just acknowledging when my mind goes somewhere else, like rather than just like being in the present.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been trying to catch myself when my mind starts wandering, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, that's all I've been doing. Because
Just noticing.
Because I don't think any change can really occur until we recognize like how often we do it, and then to call ourselves out when we aren't practicing mindfulness. So like, that's kind of what I've been doing. And it's so freaking hard.
Because
Like,
what is the tendency around that? Is there judgment involved of, oh, my mind's wandering to this place?
Not even. I think it's just like the repetitive, like, practice of like doing it where it's like, oh my God, I just did it again. Oh my God, I just did it again. And it's like, I guess there's some like shame and frustration attached, but it's more just like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's exhausting to keep doing this. But I don't know. That's like one thing I've been trying to do. I can't necessarily say if it's been helping, but I just wanted to give it like a fair shot before like just writing it off. Yeah.
Yeah. I think mindfulness helps me get back into my body.
Yeah.
And embodiment is a more recent practice of mine within, I'm going to say, the last 3 years.
Okay.
Ish. And the hard part about like being aware of your embodied experience is that it does not always feel good to feel what's going on in your body.
How do you practice that?
It's like slowing down. If I'm upset, I'm like, okay, my heart is beating really fast, or like if I'm did I say
like checking in with yourself?
I'm checking in with myself. Am I feeling like I'm getting really warm? It helps me know what I need in that moment.
I like this label because I did this recently. Not to take quick tangent.
Yes.
I was at a coffee shop like a month ago, and I was going in before work, and I was like, I'm going to read a chapter before going into work, doing something for myself. Get to the coffee shop with my book in hand, and I'm like, something's wrong. So I asked myself, like, girl, are you okay? Like, literally. And I was like, no, I'm so anxious. This coffee shop is not relaxing. It's so loud in here. I can't relax here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I left.
Good.
But not in like a, oh, I didn't do my self-care thing. I almost practiced self-care because I recognized that I did not feel safe and like chill in that environment.
Yes.
And I think that's what maybe you're talking about, like that embodiment.
It's like recognizing, what am I feeling right now and what do I need?
Yeah.
Regardless of what that looks like, to alleviate this discomfort.
Yeah.
Right? So in your case, it was removing yourself from that situation.
You guys. I didn't know what that was called.
And like for me, it's like, okay, I need to take some deep breaths right now. Like sometimes I notice my embodied experience, I'm tuning in, I'm realizing, oh, I'm not actually breathing in all the way, and something that's also tricky because being aware of my breathing also makes me feel like some panic as well. And so it's just really just taking it as slow as you can. I think I do a lot of orienting. This is especially in moments where my brain starts going so fast. I really feel like I can't think, and I really feel the separation of my internal self and my body, this really big disconnect.
So how do you orient yourself?
So it's like, I start going to a frenzy where I feel like I can't even see what's around me. It's hard to explain if you can relate.
Do you do some like grounding for that or?
So the first thing I do is I start identifying, I pick a color. I'm like blue, find all the blue things in the room.
Okay. So yeah, grounding.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Grounding.
No. I just want to make sure like I was understanding what you were talking about.
Yeah. Grounding. And then sometimes I like remind myself where I am,
Mm-hmm.
because there's been times where like I blink and I can't even see the room I'm in.
Yeah.
And I know logically where I am, but it's like this reminder of I'm in Los Angeles. I'm sitting in my bedroom. Everything's okay.
Which is mindfulness too.
Yeah.
Bringing
and
yourself
so
back. Yeah.
if you struggle, I'm
That's-
right there with
I
you.
think our listeners, guys, let us know. I think that's really helpful to hear.
Yeah.
And even if you're already doing it, I think just knowing that like you're on the right track, practice is what you need, right? Like
Mhm.
you're not going to be good at these things by doing it once or twice.
Yes. And I think I always love to frame things as like this obstacle course in a
Mm.
way, because we are never going to live a life without obstacles, without challenges, without conflict. Something will always happen. We're never going to stop feeling anxious.
Yeah.
And if it's not anxiety, it's maybe discomfort,
Yeah.
right? That's never going to not happen.
Right.
The more we run through that obstacle course from bad at it at the beginning, we can be more familiar when it does come back again.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so then it's like, oh, next time I feel a little bit of like a panic in my chest, I'm like, I've done this
you're
before.
mastering it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just it's a practice.
I love it. And I think one last healthy coping skill that I will contribute is just using your resources.
Yes.
Like I love my little to-do list on my phone because every time I freak out about something I have to do, I just write it down.
Mhm.
I don't have to get to it right now, but just knowing that it's somewhere else, I'm like, I can check back. It's kind of like scheduling your worry time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's like, when I have time, I will look at this list. But like right now, I'm going 100 miles per minute. I don't have space to like keep this in my brain. How can I like externalize it essentially?
Mhm. Like literally put it away.
Yeah.
You know, I know sometimes with my therapist, like we'll have a really heavy session. And
Mhm.
sometimes if you're in therapy, you know that therapy doesn't always feel good. And
No.
you don't always leave therapy feeling amazing,
Mm-mm.
you know? And so something my therapist will do with me and something you can ask your therapist about or do on your own if this feels helpful is I visualize everything I talked about and we put it all into a box. I get to visualize which box am I putting it in? What does it look like? Do I own it? And then do I want to give it to my therapist to hold on for me until I see her again, until we want to take it out?
Yeah.
Do I want to mail
Like,
it
put it on the
somewhere
shelf.
safe,
Yeah.
far, far away? Like, where
Yeah.
am I sending it?
Yeah.
Is it in a cave in the back of like an ocean somewhere?
Yeah.
No one's ever going to find it.
Dragon's protecting it.
Yeah. It's like whatever, like that's what I love about these visualization exercises is that you can literally go anywhere and do anything in
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Like even like thinking of like, where's your safe space? Can we go there?
Mhm.
And if nowhere on earth feels safe, I relate. So my safe space
Yeah.
is the clouds. I literally go all the
I
way
like
up
that.
where no one can get me.
Cute.
And so there's so many things
Yes.
we can do for ourselves.
I agree. Guys, I hope that you have something that helps you. And if not, maybe try one of these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of fear and anxiety, I was, because we kind of prepped like, okay, we want to talk about our fears and anxieties. And in doing so, I was like, what am I scared of? So I kind of did some research on like the different like common fears that are out there.
Oh my
And
God.
I found, this wasn't even supposed to be like part of the episode, but I found a few where I was like, oh my God, there's a phobia for this. And I don't know, I just thought we'd like share them, almost like a top 3 like winners in the Phobia Awards.
Yes.
I don't know. Do what you want with this information, but I just thought it was really interesting, and Aisha's gonna read them out for us. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Welcome to the Phobia Awards
With your host,
Ayesha and Abeera. The first winner of the Phobia Awards is, can I get a drum roll? Cacophobia, the fear of ugliness.
Guys, there's a fear of ugliness.
I don't know how I feel about this one. I mean, actually,
Does it give you anxiety? Because what if someone's scared of me because I'm so
Abeera,
ugly?
this is the perfect segue
What?
for me to tell you this update. I watched Saltburn.
Finally.
And I'm trying to be mindful of the other people like me who took forever to watch it. So I'm not trying to have any spoilers per se, but there is a very small reference to having a fear of ugliness in Saltburn in regards to the mom.
It's been a while since I've watched it, so you need to give me a little bit more.
So the mom this is not a spoiler, but for example, like if someone is staying at the mom's house and you're a guy, she needs you to be clean shaven.
Oh, yeah. And like she gave clothes, right? Or something?
Yeah. And if she sees something ugly, she just really cannot, like the tolerance of it is so low. She describes things as being a hideous experience. Oh. And so that just reminded me of her.
We need to do a deep dive on Saltburn after this.
I know.
Finally, you watched it. That's more exciting to me than the Phobia Awards all of a sudden.
I wanted to surprise you on the pod and let you know.
Thank you.
And this was like, oh, shoot.
You got my legit, honest, genuine reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Number 2, drum roll.
Number 2 is androphobia, the fear of men. Honestly, I think I have this.
Maybe we don't have the phobia, but maybe we have a little fear of, well, I have fear of men in regards to kidnapping.
I have fear of men in regards to like hurting me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's similar.
No, but like, I think it's a control aspect that they,
I mean, what scares me so much is the fact that men are just like so much stronger than me specifically. Like, I'm sure like not all men are stronger than all women.
Should take like a self-defense class.
I think we should. See, I've done like 3 through my high school probably at this point.
Cool.
I don't remember anything.
Oh, good.
Like they teach you like all these maneuvers, like if somebody's grabbing you a certain way and the way like it's like a step-by-step process.
Like, do you think your brain would fight or flight?
No.
Or freeze or fawn?
The thing is like I actually have dreams about this. And it's like it's almost like I can't move or that I'm moving in slow motion.
Yeah.
Or like I have no power behind my anything.
I know. Okay, wait. I'm getting triggered.
Okay, yeah, let's move on. Fear of men.
3. I also have dreams about that. That's why I'm like going inside right now in my head. Okay. Mindfulness, guys.
Okay, and the last one, number 3, is automatonophobia, which is, if you don't know, the fear of human-like figures.
Yes. I thought this one was especially interesting because of AI and robots.
And this one, I think when we saw it, we were like, what is that?
But then we like looked into
it. And this our co-producer is saying Slender Man.
Like, yes, absolutely.
It's also like, think like the wax museum.
There's something very unsettling about wax museums.
With all those celebrities, there's something not quite right, which makes me think of the uncanny valley.
Like aliens that could take on like a similar form to humans. Like I almost want them to look entirely different.
Yeah. There's something like so unnatural. Same, I think this includes mannequins too, which mannequins do make me nervous.
Sure.
Like there's just something, they have this weird presence about them.
Have eyes or anything. Yeah.
I mean, and sometimes they're painted on and I'm just like,
it's worse. Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, do any of you guys have one of these 3 phobias? And if so, tell us about it. Sorry, do you have something else to add?
No, I'm just like looking them over again. Oh. And if you have the fear,
our co-producer is saying that for fear of ugliness, which is cacophobia, that it might be more directed to like you being afraid of being ugly versus scared of ugly people and ugliness. What if it's both?
Yeah, maybe it is both. Like it's like internalized like for yourself.
It's both. It's both. Okay, confirmed.
Okay. But like if you're scared of ugly people, I'm just picturing how that could play out.
Put a paper bag over your head.
Like imagine like you're going into work. It's like maybe 7:30 in the morning. You stop for gas. Your car's not working at the pump. You're like, oh my God, I have to go inside. And now I'm like, am I calling gas station employees ugly because of where my story is going? But I'm just like, you go inside, you go up to the cashier, and then what do? If you think they're ugly, do you let out a scream?
I hope so.
Do you jump back?
I hope so because
Or do you like
shudder.
do you go
Cringe.
run in the corner? Like,
Well, I think it depends on the level of your phobia
yeah.
and how much exposure therapy you've
I
done.
want to like look into people who like have a fear of ugliness and just see
like if there's like YouTube videos on it.
There has to be.
We should look it up.
deep dive.
Okay. Well,
Anyways, well, thank you for coming to the Phobia Awards. Let us know which others you think should have made it onto this list.
and we can't wait to see you next year for our second annual
yes.
Phobia Awards. Thank you.
So.
So I think now that we talked about fear and anxiety, I think we deserve some tarot time to maybe bring us back a little bit.
I know. I think
Hopefully it's a good one.
I know. We need it. Okay.
Okay. Should I shuffle?
Yes.
Or do you want to shuffle?
I'll shuffle.
Yeah, you haven't shuffled ever. Here, I'll hold your mic for you.
Thank you. Okay.
How exciting.
I know. Okay. We're shuffling.
We're shuffling.
I feel like you go like this.
I don't know what I do. I just hope something falls out. Oh, you can take that
the top one.
Yeah.
And
What is it? Let's see.
it says connect to source. And we're seeing
What the heck?
some underwater foliage action.
Oh, it's like a coral reef vibe.
Okay, we've got a coral
I
reef.
think.
Except it doesn't look very corally, but it's something. We'll show you a picture on the
Yeah, the
screen.
picture will be on the screen by now.
It goes, go with it. It says, go within to discover what needs to be done. Create the shift required to attract what you want.
I almost want to focus on the title, which is connect to source,
And
which
the
is giving
resourcing.
ground. It's also giving like grounding.
Yes.
Like connect back to your source. I don't know why that brought me to like ground your feet into the floor,
Yeah,
like connecting like in that way.
I agree. I think we can make this tie into like our mindfulness and
Yeah. Well, even the second part too. I just wanted to give like some attention to the title.
exactly. And the whole go within to discover what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So like, you know, if your heart's beating, like what do you need? If you're feeling anxiety, what needs to be
The
done?
embodiment.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Like check in with yourself. I think we posted this on the Instagram. Ask yourself, girl, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to ask your friends, girl, are you okay? This is also a question for you.
And if it's no, that's okay because there's something we can do. So
Yeah.
it says create the shift required to attract what you want. So if you're
I
not
love
okay,
this.
what do you need to feel okay? And let's go
Yeah.
get that. Let's shift things around and
Yes.
feel a little bit better.
And with that, not to become too therapist-y, but if there is something that you heard today, or if you have coping skills that do work for you, write them down somewhere. So that way, when you are in that like elevated state of anxiety, fear, discomfort, whatever it is, you're not having to like search for these things in your brain on top of all of the brain activity that's already happening.
Yes, it's really hard to know in the moment what your coping skills are, or what you can reach for. So
Yeah.
having like a go-to way of what feels accessible to me in this moment. What is one small thing I can do? Because it's so hard to remember in the moment.
Yeah. I even like sometimes with clients will like create different lists based on like where you are.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're at school or if you're at work, you might not have access to art supplies or even time, right? Like
Mhm.
so okay, what can we do? Maybe some box breathing or like another equivalent. Like
Box breathing got me through grad school.
they make stickers now. Do you know?
Really?
Where you could paste it like on your water bottle or phone to like trace your finger on different like
Yes.
shapes.
I love that because I was tracing the mouse on my laptop, so that's square. And if you don't know what box breathing is, definitely like look it up or watch a YouTube video. But
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. But essentially, it's breathing in for a few seconds
Holding for a few seconds at the top, like of your inhale.
and then breathing out for a few seconds and then holding again. And you can kind of follow
A box.
a box as you do it.
Or a
And-
rectangle. Or a quadrilateral of your choice.
Yeah. And so it was so effective for me. Another thing I learned in grad school was the butterfly hug.
Yeah. You want me to hold your mic while you do it?
Yeah. So essentially what you do is you kind of just put your arms across your chest, crisscrossed, and you kind of just tap.
Yeah. Like you're giving yourself a hug and then you're also tapping your hands and fingers.
And there's something about that bilateral stimulation that is comforting.
Yeah, it's like scientifically proven too, right? To help you in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So give yourself more hugs.
Yes. And ask yourself, girl, are you okay?
And that being said,
thank you for tuning in to Girl, Are You Okay? Please help us by engaging with us through like all the rating and commenting and reviewing and all of the stuff.
And we read all of your comments.
Yes.
We really appreciate your feedback always.
And we always try to also respond to comments and things like that because we really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Please take care of yourself.
Yes. And try some of your little coping skills and, you know, see if they help. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next week.
Thank you for coming.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Although we cover themes of mental health, Girl, Are You Okay is not a substitute for therapy or mental health services. Also, thank you to our co-producers, Geb and Eric.